Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into something really different. We're going to step away from all the usual clinical talk about ADHD, the deficits, the disorders, and explore a completely new way of looking at it. What if it's not a problem to fix, but a unique kind of cognitive ecosystem? Okay, let's get into it.
So the whole idea kicks off with this single invitation. And honestly, it's the key to everything else we're going to talk about. It's asking us to just completely shift our perspective, to move from thinking about the brain like a machine with broken parts to seeing it as a living, breathing, ecological world. It's a jump from pathology straight into poetry.
All right, so what does that actually mean? Well, it means we take all those core traits we associate with ADHD and we give them a whole new language, a new story, one that's pulled right from the natural world. Let's break down how this reframing really works.
Okay, let's start with hyperfocus. The standard view kind of sees it as broken attention, right? Like you're focusing way too much on the wrong thing. But in this ecological model, it's not broken at all. It's flight. It's your mind, like a condor, catching a powerful current of interest and just soaring. It's not a bug. It's a feature, a mind that's built for these incredibly deep dives.
And what about distractibility? This one gets a really bad rap. But what if it isn't a failure to focus? What if it's actually a heightened form of awareness? I mean, think about it. Out in the forest, the person who notices every single bird call, every little rustle of leaves, that's the one who's going to keep themselves and their tribe safe. It's an evolved sensitivity to a rich, biodiverse world.
And finally, executive dysfunction. The clinical model can make this feel like some kind of permanent personal failing. But this ecological view, well, it's a lot more compassionate. And frankly, it feels more true. These struggles aren't character flaws. They're more like weather systems. You have storms of overwhelm. You have droughts of motivation. But here's the crucial part. Weather always passes. The sun comes back out. It's seasonal. It's not forever.
So if these traits are just natural adaptations, why do they cause so many problems for people today? Well, that brings us to the core conflict here. This huge mismatch between our mind's innate ecology and the world we've actually built around ourselves.
Just think for a second about the environments we actually evolved in. They weren't quiet. They weren't linear. They were these incredibly rich, complex ecosystems just buzzing with sensory input. They demanded a mind that could move, explore, and shift its attention fluidly just to get by. In that world, this kind of neurotype isn't just adapted, it's a massive advantage.
Now, compare that to your average modern classroom or office. It's a sensory monoculture, isn't it? It demands stillness, silence, thinking in a straight line, and living by a mechanical clock. For a mind that evolved to be a vibrant forest, this is like being ripped up and planted in a concrete grid. So the symptoms of ADHD, they aren't necessarily signs of a broken brain. They're often just the totally predictable result of this profound ecological mismatch. Okay, this is where things get really fascinating. To understand the future potential of this neurotype, the source material suggests we need to look deep into our ancestral past. And this leads us to this idea of the shamanic neurotype. The theory here is that these traits, this hyper-awareness, this nonlinear thinking, this gift for making unexpected connections, they weren't just for hunting. These were the exact traits of the village shaman, the healer, the storyteller, the person whose mind could see the patterns that connect everything. Which brings us right up to today, with this absolutely mind-bending question. What happens when this ancient, biological, intuitive way of knowing meets the most powerful pattern recognizer humanity has ever built, artificial intelligence?
And the answer is just wow. It's both poetic and incredibly profound. The idea is that AI isn't just another tool that forces us into the grid. For a mind that thrives on patterns and feedback, AI can actually become a new kind of environment, a forest of infinite mirrors that can reflect our own inner states back to us with unbelievable speed and clarity.
And all this builds to a vision of something the source calls the quantum dream machine. And no, this isn't science fiction. This is about the near future of therapy. A future where AI-driven immersive worlds can respond to our biology, to our inner state in real time, creating this incredible bridge between our ancient wiring and cutting-edge tech.
So this is a huge idea, right? How do we bring it down to earth, to a personal, practical level? Well, the key is this big shift in mindset, moving away from treating a disorder and toward tending a living internal ecosystem.
The core practice here is called immersive entrainment. And the idea is actually pretty simple, but it's revolutionary. It's about creating environments that listen to your body. Imagine being in a digital forest where your own biological signals, your heart rate, your brain waves, are actually shaping that world around you.
And this isn't just a metaphor anymore. It can become a real data-driven feedback loop. Just picture it. As your heart rhythm becomes more coherent and calm, the wind in this virtual forest settles down. As your brainwaves find a rhythm of focus, the fog in the world literally clears. You're not just observing your inner state, you're interacting with it, learning its language in a way you can actually see and feel.
The cool thing is you can start this practice right now. No tech needed. It's a simple 4-step process. First, just notice your internal weather. Are you feeling stormy, foggy, sunny? No judgment. Then name it, using this ecological language. That alone creates some space. Third, learn to navigate it. Don't try to fight a storm, just find some shelter. And finally, nurture your ecosystem with whatever it needs. Maybe that's rest or movement or getting outside.
So the whole point, the big takeaway, is this. What if the goal was never to tame the forest, never to pave it over or force it into a neat little grid? What if the goal was always just about learning to walk within it, to understand its seasons, and to tend to its incredible, wild, vibrant life? You know, this reframing doesn't just change how we see ADHD. It changes how we see ourselves.